And
We
it's
are
Saturday night.
We're live. So this is a little bit of a different look. I didn't even have the intro ready to go. Normally I'm like ready to go with the intro. Here it is because we already clicked the live button, but it's Cardboard Consultants. We're talking to you in the middle of a crazy wild card weekend for football. I think we picked the best game to do this during, which is the Chiefs-Steelers game. If you're joining us live, you already know that. But if you are watching this afterwards, welcome. We are doing the same thing that we normally do, but we're going to start sprinkling in some live episodes because, one, I think it's cool to be able to field in some live questions as we do them. Two, I think it's just a really cool opportunity to do some live breaks. I saved an autograph pack from 2019 Bowman draft, so I'm going to be breaking that open. And Kendall, you've had an absolute crazy weekend going nuts on Candy, which is Fanatic's new NFT arm. So we're going to talk about that. And then T, we've been buying spots and breaks for the 2021 drafts like crazy, going with all of the Orioles spots we can find, and we've had some success there. So I'm really excited. But let's start with what you guys have pulled, because we'll start with Kendall, because T and I have split a lot of our breaks recently, so we broke those together. Kendall, you've had a pretty nice little run here of pulls. Let's start with the physical cards. What did you pull recently? Show everybody what you got.
Yeah, so with my Christmas money, I went out and I bought into a biggest break slot I've ever personally got in. And it was over $150. I'll just say that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I hope I hit something. And I bought the Arizona Diamondbacks, and it was like a half case break or something like that. Of
case or regular jumbo. Yeah, I think I was in that too.
Yeah. So me and T were both in this together. I think he had the Orioles and I had the Diamondbacks. So obviously, if I have a Diamondbacks sweet pull, you know who it is. So here it is. I had a Jordan Lawler out of 499 refractor
guy.
auto. So sick. Like instantly, like 7 times my money, and just stupid money. Like, and then, I mean, I'm real high on Lawler anyway. He's from my hometown. Like, the Diamondbacks have nothing in his way, like just
Nick
get
Ahmed.
out there.
Nick Ahmed's in the way.
Yeah,
he's not going to.
He's got a sweet swing. I'm excited about it. So
yeah, we talked about this a little bit about Lawler versus Meyer, and it's obviously early and too early to really make a bold prediction one way or another between Lawler and Meyer. But the one thing I will say is it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever, and I actually may lean Lawler without obviously a ton of confidence because it's so early, but I wouldn't be shocked if Lawler was better because he brings the athleticism. He brings more power. I think he's a better defender. Meyer has a much more, I would say, advanced swing and seems to be a higher end hit tool guy. But give me some athleticism, and Lawler's swing, like you said, is really sweet for a guy that is as explosive as he is. I really like the idea of going in on Lawler if he's a little bit cheaper, but they seem to be pretty close in price right now, right, T?
Man, not in that break.
Really?
Yeah, like the Red Sox spot was super high.
The Red Sox, that spot is currently going for the highest dollar value in any Bowman draft break that you enter. But it's not like the Diamondbacks are that far behind. I mean, if the Red Sox are going for 210, the Diamondbacks are usually going for like 150 to 170. And so they're not super far behind. But right now, I think the biggest chase is Meyer, and then I'd say Lawler and Davis are pretty close to one another. And then it goes Cowser and further on down the list. But so Meyer's the guy right now that I think everybody's really after. But if you hit any of the top 10 guys, you're in the money, man. These autos are going for just banana money right now.
It's pretty wild to see the Red Sox going for so much, because I know everybody's focused on the first round guy, right? You're focused on the first pick ultimately. But part of the reason why we like the Orioles and why T and I have been splitting up the Orioles is that we like Cowser, right? But I also really like Connor Norby, and Norby's the second round pick that I think has a lot of upside and should have been a first round kind of guy, but kind of slipped through the cracks a little bit. And I think he's one of the steals of the draft. So you're getting 2 first-round talents, in my opinion. And then I also like Dante Williams as a flyer as well, outfielder out of Arizona that they got in the later rounds. But when you look at the Red Sox, they didn't even sign their second-round pick, right? They didn't even sign Judd Fabian, who was supposed to be a top 10 guy out of UF, had a really, really rough part of his season down the stretch. And he actually finished strong, started poor, and a lot of swing and miss, didn't sign, and ends up going back to UF to play another year. So now that guy's out of the fold there. And your only other selections of guys that are really going to have much upside are third rounder and Tyler McDonough from NC State, second baseman. And then you got a lot of pitchers. So it's interesting to see the Red Sox go for that much. And I wonder how much people really look at the rest of the class. Are they really just chasing that first round guy?
Not a lot. I think outside of, let's see, the Orioles had 2 autos in Norby and Cowser. I know the Reds have Jay Allen and Torres. I think the Reds actually have the most autos in the product.
I like the Reds as a sleeper slot in this.
Not a bad price. I mean, Allen's getting some. You're getting some ROI, good ROI there if you hit a good, like a true blue Allen or something like that. And so, but a lot of people probably are just, if you're paying for the top slot, you're obviously after the top guy because, quite frankly, you hit and you're making double, triple your money.
You got to play the percentages, though. You got to play the percentages, right? Like you got to look at the depth of a draft class. I feel like if you're going all in on one guy, so part of the reason why, and I'm going to open this in a minute, part of the reason why I like the 2019 draft class so much, and we'll talk about some of the hits because I opened the whole box, and except for the one auto pack left, is that I like the draft class so much. Of course, I want Adley. Of course, I want, Riley Green or some of the biggest autos. But I like how deep the draft class is that, you're going to get, and I did pretty well, an Andrew Vaughn refractor, which I love, or even a Corbin Carroll. It's just a base auto, but hell, man, I was really excited about that. And then I know we talk pitcher cards, but if there's one pitcher I was going to invest in going into this year, it's Daniel Espino of the Guardians, who is unhittable. I think he's one of the best pitching prospects, top 3 in baseball right now. And, I get his auto out of 250. Just playing the percentages there. I also got Nick Quintana, sorry. Like in passing, don't really care. He was traded over to the Reds for Tucker Barnhart. No offense to Nick Quintana. But, for the most part, I just like the percentages there. So it is an interesting approach to it. But, I think at the end of the day, people can kind of go for what they want.
Is Lodolo well?
T?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little hard to hear you. What was that?
I said, is Lodolo in there as well?
Oh, yeah, Lodolo should be in there as well. I pulled a bunch of his base cards and I stowed those away. And then that's another guy, he's in that conversation, right? Top 3 pitching prospect for us. So, if you graduate Shane Baz and you're looking at it, it's Grayson Rodriguez. And then you can really make a case there for Lodolo being number 2, Hunter Green, and or Espino being number 3 and 4 and in that range. So, I mean, there's a lot of exciting players, pitching prospects at the top, and a lot of them are in that 2019 class. And I think people sleep on the pitching prospects because you look at like a Corbin Burns, his card goes for a good bit now. Not everybody's going to be DeGrom, but some of these really exciting pitchers go for a good bit. But before we get to the physical break,
you're getting flamed in the comments already.
I'm getting flamed?
Yeah.
Oh well, is what it is.
Your poster guy hasn't come in.
What?
Your poster guy hasn't come to see you yet.
Oh, Dinger hasn't come in. But before I open the 2019 drafts, talk a little bit about your candy experience. So Fanatics has an NFT arm. And, I think people are in the baseball collectibles hobby, might be a little bit more resistant to the idea of NFTs. But I think it's undeniable that it is a very, very there's a lot of money in the industry. And there's a reason why Fanatics, one of the most successful companies right now in the world, is putting a lot of money into NFTs, not only just acquiring tops, but also into the NFT side of things. And the marketplace has already sold well over $1.3 million last time we checked in, just over the weekend since launching. I mean, this is a really exciting, I think, artery here for baseball. And it's a way to get more money to minor leaguers too, because they have minor league NFTs as well as the big leaguers. Talk a little bit about your experience there as you were going crazy in the marketplace when things launched.
Well, I think it's important for me to say that I also kind of have a background in this area a little bit. I'm experienced with crypto tech and with NFTs, and so I'm super bullish on the NFTs in the card space. I think that's going to be a really big factor. What I don't think, and this is a curious question that we can talk about later, is if NFTs or digital cards will take over the market. I don't think that, but I do think that there will be a subset of the market that thrives here. Like there will be people that solely collect and trade and sell just digitally. And you'll have some collectors that do both. And I almost see it as like a different distinction. Like some guys collect only baseball, some guys collect all sports. Like I think you'll see also, you have guys that are in and out of it. But so
I definitely think there's room for both. I think that's a very, very good point. Like I don't think it's a this versus this thing, right? I think that's the way it's kind of been presented. And I just don't think that's the case. I think there's room for both to coexist. I think that we saw it. Top Shot didn't affect the basketball card market whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's a sustainable market where you have the potential to actually make a little bit of money on your investment. There's going to be people in there. Like it's not like I don't even think you have to be a diehard baseball card collector to want to enter into the NFT space. Strictly because there's a lot of people that are in NFTs because for the financial gain possibility. So it's going to function the same way, in my opinion.
Wow, his comment was huge all of a sudden. But hello, Ryan. But
it's just
Miller
classic.
got me all thrown off all of a sudden.
Classic. Miller doesn't
Dang it, Miller.
I can do that. So like I have like DJ abilities here, right? So like doesn't look like we're gonna get good. We're gonna get good at StreamYard. We're gonna get proficient with this. But no, I think T, you're a little bit more of a traditional, card collector. So am I, right? I feel like Kendall's the guy that's been a little bit more, excited about the NFT space. That's not to say that we aren't. It's just I think that's something Kendall, like you said, he's been a bit more bullish and excited about. But the more I look at it, the more I am interested because I'm watching the marketplace and there's some really cool aspects to it, right? And like, you can go and buy that NFT and you don't have to worry about it being shipped to your house and all of those things. Like I wanted to buy some Gabriel Moreno collectibles. I can just go buy it there and it's in my wallet and it's simple and that's that. I don't have to worry about being home when it gets here to sign for it or like whatever and all of those things. I understand that, it is cool to be able to have the physical card there, but when I want to do it from an investment standpoint or just to know that I have stock in a player, it's cool to be able to make it that seamless. The other thing is the one-of-ones are really cool because they come with like a player highlight video. It's a really cool experience when you have it and only you can see the video. And they had it for like Riley Green. They've got it for Adley Rutschman, a lot of the most exciting prospects in baseball. And it's cool clips. It's pretty awesome. And there's still some of the one-of-ones left, which are going for a good bit. So I'm interested. You want to go first, Kendall? Do you want to do your digital?
I think we should probably save mine for last, just considering how crazy it can be. But here's another thing that I wanted to point out with the NFTs. Yeah, another thing I was going to talk about is quality control. Like, like not only do you have to buy a box, then you have to concern about the condition of the card. Then if it's going to get graded, you have to find it. Like those are problems you don't have with NFTs. You don't have any sort of like the PayPal mail system stuff. But then I think another unique thing is, and this might just be at the moment, this might change, but the odds are super good for hits comparatively.
Yeah, they are.
Like when you're looking at a pack of tops or like a Bowman pack, the odds of hitting a one-of-one in a pack of any player are really bad. But
will the market eventually reflect that though? Yeah, that's what I'm
maybe
I'm interested to see where the market normalizes because we're seeing people with crazy asking prices. They don't know what they should be asking for based on what they pulled. But at the end of the day, we've seen a lot of prospects already on the NFT space sell for $5,000-$6,000. I think some Adley Rutschman cards did that weren't even his one-of-one. That hasn't been pulled yet. I think it was his out of 20 or out of 50 or out of 80. They've got different designations to the rarity. And we have a full article kind of talking about your whole experience on the NFT space that's going to be live tomorrow morning. But while people are watching this, maybe the next day, it will already have been put up live. So I think it is definitely an interesting space and something worth looking at. But should I break open these cards and see what we got here?
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
I've been the amount of discipline that this took for me, by the way, to just leave this pack where I know I have an auto in here, and I've just left it sitting. So this is what we've got. This is my favorite draft by far. It's not even close. We'll skip the papers and we go straight to the chromes. So I'll just show you guys when I get close to it. Kyle Stowers, by the way, refractor here. This is a guy I wanted to talk about. A little bit of swing and miss, but an outfielder that won't be too blocked in Baltimore, and had a really good finish to the year. A ton of power, athletic outfielder. It's a high risk guy, but he's kind of interesting. But that's something I was going to mention real quick. Will Stewart, no thank you. Reese Hines, someone I just talked about on a Red show. That's a refractor, right? Yeah, that is a refractor. Had a pretty good year. Had a quietly pretty solid year. And here is my auto, and it looks like a pitcher, so I'm not excited about it. Is that Doxakis or whatever?
Yep.
Yep, John Doxakis. I think that's how you say it. I told you I was going to get screwed on this one. I told you I was going to get screwed.
That's all right. You hit well in the other ones, man.
Yeah.
Well,
let me
go through the rest of these. We got Grant Gambrell, Will Stewart, Reese Hines again.
Any color?
Yeah, that was anticlimactic. I told you guys
that was anticlimactic. Go buy another box.
Just go buy. Yeah, get it here ASAP. Yeah, that was rough.
Was that the same box you bought at the National?
No, well, you like the same product?
No, the same product. Obviously not the same box. You opened the box at the National.
Yeah, no, the 2019 draft.
Dude, if you would have held the pack from an auto pack from the National for 8 months, I would have been so proud of you.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of discipline. But this is a guy I want to talk about real quick before we go to his break. I know you're a Rangers guy, but in general, Josh Young, I really, really like this guy as we go into next year. His cards are reflecting his performance last year, right? Like we're seeing the value go up. And, it was one of those breakdowns that I've done recently that is kind of like, duh. He hit the ball in the air more and hit the ball harder, and he had a better year. Like sometimes it's that simple, right? He was hitting the ball on the ground too much. He had some movement with his swing. Now he's lifting more, and he's still making just as frequent a contact, and he's hitting more home runs, and it's for real. I mean, he's a high contact guy. Now he's tapping into more power, and he's big league ready just about. And now you put him in the mix here with what is probably going to be one of the more exciting infields in baseball now if you have a young Josh Young who's hitting well, along with the $500 million investment up the middle. Nathaniel Lowe's not a slouch and could continue to get better over there at first base. That's a pretty exciting infield, and I think this is a team that still has a lot of work to do in terms of being competitive, but a lot more eyes on them. And I think a lot more excitement around the team. I'm curious. I'll go to Kendall second since he's a homer. T, what do you think of the idea of Josh Young? I know normally we're looking to get in on guys that are much more unknown, right? Like we're buying Endy Rodriguez of the Pirates. We're buying some guys that we think are going to pop, but are still, low cost, lower risk. Young's already expensive, but I think there's still room to run here as a player that, is just, I think has a ton of upside for a team that has a ton of upside, right? You have the combination there.
Yeah, I mean, his numbers in AAA were phenomenal. His ISO was above 300. His WRC plus was around 165. He was a stud. But I don't think he's that expensive, honestly. So I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, I bought 20 Bowman Chrome firsts of Josh. I think I paid like $110 for them, which is fine. And then, those at PSA 10s are right around $80 to $90. So, PSA's grading prices go down. I submit a couple there. Maybe some of them come back as 10s. Make a nice little profit. I just bought a refractor of his today for $15. I'm just buying up stuff like that. There's a couple PSA 9s that I have my eyes on that are refractor autos. So I'm kind of looking in that PSA 9, SGC 9.5 category for Youngs, and hoping that buy something a little bit cheaper, and then just kind of ride that wave up when he comes up next year, and hopefully performs to the level that we all expect him to.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see the price still kind of low, and I wonder if people are a little bit slow to see on like what he has done, because it was a very pedestrian 2019. It was only 40 games, and he still made a lot of contact. He still was a 121 WRC plus guy, which, if you're not a huge advanced metrics person, it's 21% above average. The big concern was one home run in 179 plate appearances, and that was because he was hitting ground balls at about a 47% rate. He cuts that down this past year to 34%. So you're hitting the ball in the air more, and a higher percentage of the balls that you're hitting in the air are leaving the yard. That's always a good recipe. And you figure he's going to be in a nice spot in a lineup that does have a lot of talent, right? He's not going to come up. If he came up last year, right, you're in a much different situation. He's one of the best hitters in that lineup, and he's got no protection, and people are probably keen on him a little bit more. Now he's an afterthought for the most part, right? You're focused on Semien, you're focused on Seager, and he's going to get a lot of opportunities there with runners on base or guys behind him to protect him, or, either way, he's going to see a lot more to hit. I really like the idea of Josh Young having a big year. He'll be 24 at season start, and I think he'll be ready to go. The grading thing is interesting too, by the way, because, it's been frustrating in general, just the whole concept of just getting our cards back. It took a full year for me to get my cards from PSA that I sent right before they shut everything down. They just came back. I'm like baffled by that whole process. I actually thought that they were lost. Like, I kept checking in. I didn't believe it. Because I actually did it through a card shop, a local card shop, and they're awesome guys at Boca Sports Cards. And like, they've been nothing but great to me. So like, of course, I'm not trying to think the worst, but I'm like, where are these cards? It's been a yeyear. And I didn't want to accuse them of anything. I didn't think anything bad was happening, but there was like this little self-doubt where I'm like, it's been a year now. Like, is PSA really this lost? And it was. They came in. They just told me, hey, Aram, your cards are here. And I'm really excited to go check it out. And they do some live breaks as well. But I was a little freaked out. I'm like, what happened to these cards? It took a full year. So they're probably going to be a little bit better now. But the NFT idea of just not having to worry about that when you pull something pretty cool, it is nice, because it is true. Just your card's ungraded. It's just not going to fetch nearly as much. Have they really put into perspective here? How much has that changed, T, with having a card graded by PSA versus ungraded? I know that's always been a pretty direct price discrepancy, but I feel like now, with how difficult it is to get grades from PSA, just from a PSA standpoint, how much more money can you make from getting it graded? Has the gap closed, or has it gotten bigger?
I think it's probably stayed the same, in my opinion. I don't see a whole lot of people shying away from getting stuff graded when you look at just the hobby in general. Like, big money cards are always going to go straight to a grader typically. But I just don't see a whole lot of change there, honestly. I mean, we've got a couple pools that are, we're not gonna hesitate at the $100 to $150 price point, because, quite frankly, like, that's just gonna be, we're gonna make that back.
Yeah.
So I guess it's all relative. It all depends on how much the card's worth. For me, like, I'm going back to those Josh Youngs. Like, I've got 20 or so of those. I'm not sending them in now. But if it comes down to that $25, $30 card range, then yeah, I'm probably going to send them all in, and hope I get, half to maybe 75% that come back as PSA 10s, and then I'm in the money. So,
right.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
I mean, I'm sending this Lawler in. So
yeah, that's one that because you're not in a rush to get that back, right? So the crazy thing for me was, I'm sending out Barry Bonds cards, a ton of Barry Bonds rookies, and I'm like, man, I need these back. Like, I need, if it's starting to look bad for the Hall of Fame, I need to dump some of these. In fact, though, the last time I've looked at it, it is starting to look actually pretty good for Barry Bonds potentially to sneak in. It's going to be really, really close. But things.
Man, what a show would that be?
Oh man, yeah, I'm excited.
There is going to be some baseball media that day, my friend.
Oh yeah, and I think we've kind of taken the stance of just baseball that we think that the PED guys should get in. I think you're naturally going to have your own exceptions at that point. But I do think that if Bonds gets into the Hall, I do think that that's going to boost his card value. So I'm very, but who knows? And I'm excited to kind of see how that goes down, because it could be a lot of fun to kind of see how the market runs when that happens. And finally, I have my cards in. I still don't know how they came back. I have not found out. The cards are at home in Florida, so I'm going back to go pick those up. So I'm interested to see how some of those came back for me. I know my George Kirby out of 50 came back in 9, but oof. I'll take it. Well,
I loved
right.
I loved when you texted us like, "Hey, I'm going into the card shop today to see if they have my cards. If they don't, there's going to be a reckoning or something like that." Yeah. And then like we heard back from you later. We're like, "Hey, how'd it go?" And you're like, "Well, they didn't have them, and I ended up buying more cards." So, yeah, and I was like, "Man, they got you twice." You know?
Yeah, they're the best over there. I can't lie, but I was like, if I go in there and they tell me the cards are gone, I'm gonna lose my mind, and then I end up leaving with spending another $500 there and giving them my paycheck.
But you're like, "Oh well," like they're like, "We don't have your cards, man." You're like, yeah, give me 2 more of those."
Yeah, and I whipped. I pulled nothing. It was 2020 Chrome. I pulled nothing. But man. Speaking of, let's share your screen so people can kind of get the candy experience too.
Sure.
And see what you pull here.
So
because
I am curious on a question though. Back to the Josh Young thing. So the Josh Young auto per se out of the NFT collection, the cheapest one is going for $555.
Oh, wow.
So what is a mint? Because obviously you can't mess up an NFT. What is a mint Josh Young auto?
I mean, I can pull it up super quick. My guess right off the top of my head is probably around
200 maybe.
And what is this Josh Young? So there's different designations of rarity, right? Like that, and that's the thing that we'll explain, right? Yeah. They have the uncommon. They have the base.
So the auto is at epic level. That's what it's.
And that's out of 80, right?
40, I think.
Out of 40. And that's the one that's going for $550?
Yeah.
I was way off. December 18th, his auto sold PSA 10 Bowman Chrome first auto sold for $600.
Wow. Wait, that's pretty interesting that the prices are.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
He had another one sell best offer $515 scratched out. So I don't know what the offer was accepted at.
You can never mind.
Yeah, I know. I can look it up, but I'm not gonna.
I agree with Evster right here. I like the 2020 class, but 2019 class is just different. I think it's different. I like the 2020 class, but 2019 is a different beast. And Josh Young's not even the biggest name here.
Would you prefer 2019 or 2018?
2018 draft. I would prefer 2019 draft. I think 2019 draft is the most insane draft.
Oh, that's true. We were just thinking draft. I was thinking
we haven't had the full out discussion about the comparison between those two products yet. We've talked about it a lot. That's something that we need to sit
down and really nail it.
Yeah, sit down and flesh that out.
Because I think we have different opinions, but both are very valid. Both have absolute money-making studs in them. So anyway, that's a discussion for another day. But yeah, just so Josh Young's Bowman Chrome PSA 10 auto goes for $500. Let's say $500. Interestingly,
so $550 for
this is a different type of question. Would you rather have that, or would you rather have an out of 99 PSA 9 for $550?
Ooh.
Would you rather have a low numbered, not a 99, that's low, true green, PSA 9, or would you rather have the PSA 10 base?
I'd rather have the out of 99 when it comes to a guy that I think is going to be like a multi-time All-Star. Like, I think Josh Young's going to make 4 or 5 All-Star games. Like, I really think he's going to be
Rookie of the Year. Is he Rookie of the Year?
God, that's so good for me to hear, guys.
I've put my this is one of the things I'm going to be all in on when I'm giving out. When we do our preseason predictions, Josh Young's going to be probably one of my Rookie of the Year picks. And maybe my favorite, because when we're looking at the odds too, that Josh Young's not going to be the favorite. And you really have to look at opportunity. And I look at the rest of the AL. Riley Green's not going to get called up right away. I'd be very surprised if he does. Torkelson's going to be one of the betting favorites, if not the betting favorite, and he's not going to be playing much defense. He's going to be limited to first, while Josh Young's going to be playing above average defense at third, which we know matters now, right? Like that's going to reflect in the WAR, and that's going to reflect in things that voters look at. I really think Josh Young's going to make a Rookie of the Year run, and if he's even in the consideration, you're going to start to see people pile on here to buy his cards. And another reason why I like him as a candidate is even if he's not running into his power the way we think he can right out of the gate, the hit tool is proven borderline plus. Like he's going to hit for average and he's going to walk. So he's going to have a high floor of just a guy that's going to produce for a team that has going to have more eyes on him. I think he's one of my favorites for Rookie of the Year. I think it's always safer to go with a pitcher, but in this instance, I really do like Josh Young as a potential Rookie of the Year. And so when you have that kind of, I think, excitement around you, having that out of 99, in my opinion, for someone that I think is that high of a profile potentially is always going to be a little bit more exciting and easy to sell.
Yeah, he just needs to be really in the top 2 or 3, like for it to impact his card prices. We saw it with Trevor Rogers and Jonathan India last year. Both those guys were getting serious bumps. I'm
so pissed I didn't buy Rogers, man, because I wasn't really I wasn't going crazy with the investment into prospects at that point. Even I was buying here and there, but Rogers was a guy I was talking about a ton before the season. And if I put my money where my mouth is on that one. Before we get to the digital opening here for Kendall, a fun off-topic question from Evster as well.
Oh, here we go.
The classic,
Junior.
Which of the juniors are you investing in? And here's my breakdown on this. It's really tough for obvious reasons because they're all fantastic in baseball. But the other side of it is you have Acuna who's coming off an ACL, which I don't think is going to affect him. Obviously, he's going to come back. He's going to be fine. But you have Acuna and Tatis.
That's a bold statement in its own right.
I just think he's too much of a freak. Like he might be a little slow out of the gate, but when we look back in 15 years, are we going to say, oh, if he never tore that ACL, he would have been different? Like
Brady tore an ACL once. Think about that.
Yeah, like I just don't think it's going to hold him back. Tatis though is a guy that's been banged up too. So you have two guys that are very athletically based, right? That their speed and their aggressiveness is a big part of their game. That's where shelf life concerns me. Whereas Vlad Jr., I think he's Miguel Cabrera. Like I think he's going to compile and he's going to hit for 20 years, right? Like even when he gains weight again and can't move, he's still going to hit and work towards 500 home runs. For that reason, I would go the safe route and go Vlad Jr. And it might not be the most common answer, but that's what I would be doing.
I think Acuna has so many more intangibles in terms. Well, I mean, Vlad's a superstar in his own right. Junior's a superstar in his own right. So is Tatis. I mean, they're all 3 mega superstars, but Acuna just seems to have a little bit more electricity in his game. I think more eyeballs are on him, and we're looking at him just strictly from like performance plus like how that impacts, like how everything else impacts a card's price. You're also coming off of a guy that his team just won the World Series. So they're going to probably be a little bit, maybe even more in the spotlight. I don't know. It's tough for me to get away from Acuna in that, and out of those 3, but
man, I have Acuna third there, T.
Oh, I just see so much of his product moved all the time, like and specifically on Twitter is where I do the majority of my business. Like Acuna is not like, you're not struggling to sell Acuna.
But his team just won the World Series without him. He comes back, struggles, and then the team like that is a recipe for
I mean, but you just threw a major hypothetical in there. If he comes back and struggles, which I don't think we really are anticipating that.
Yeah.
I also wonder, if Freddie Freeman doesn't come back, he's the man, right? Like he is the guy there. But I'm looking at it, if I'm holding 15 years from now, You know, like we're looking back. If this is a card, I'm putting in my like give
Safety
to the
deposit
kids,
box.
give
Yeah.
to the kids collection, right? I just think that the safest bet is Vlad Jr. And this is maybe a more of a conversation of risk tolerance, because I don't know if you can really deny that Vlad Jr. is the safest option, right? He is in the middle of one of the most loaded lineups in baseball that is going to be loaded for forever, like for the foreseeable future. I don't really see the Blue Jays core getting split up anytime soon there. And not to mention that, you know, I really think he's going to be a compiler, right? We're going to look 10, 12 years from now, and he's going to be a guy that's 3,000 hits potentially, 500 home runs. I really think he's going to be a carbon copy of Miguel Cabrera in a very high probability of like the best case scenario, right? Most likely he lands a little bit short of that, but I do feel very confident with him just hitting every single year. Like Evster says, like he's a perennial Silver Slugger candidate, whereas I think Tatis and Acuna, there's a little bit of streakiness. You're going to look back and they're going to have phenomenal numbers, but do you think the shelf life's going to be there? And when it's all said and done, it's all about where you stand in terms of the greats and the Hall of Fame, right? And if that's the angle we're taking, I'm going Vlad Jr. So we have three different answers here, right? What was your final answer?
I didn't give an answer.
Yeah, you didn't give an answer.
I'm definitely not taking Cunha. Like I would say he was third on my list just because. Well, here's why. So I was gonna say Vlad Jr. because of the reason that you said, because I think he ends up being, you know, like that Miguel Cabrera, Albert Pujols, you know, somebody like that who just smashes and yeets forever. Because his dad was a professional hitter even when he couldn't move. You know, like so. I remember in the playoffs in 2011. The Rangers would put Vlad out there in right field because they needed his bat so bad, and it was horrendous. Like at one point, they couldn't figure out who was going to be worse in the outfield, Nelson Cruz or Vladdy, and it was just awful. But the one thing I would say Tatis, but here's why, and I'm not just saying that because you two picked the other two either. The one thing that does scare me is the injury history with Tatis. I don't want to be like a flash in the pan with him where we just are like, he was so electric, but he just couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have to protect himself, or the Padres are going to have to protect him. Like, and I think with the universal DH I think we could see that where they put him in a universal DH role to protect his longevity.
At least once a week here and there.
Yeah.
You know? And the thing is, they have the infield depth, right? Like they have Ha-Seong Kim, who's a phenomenal defender who can do that. They have CJ Abrams coming up. And now that allows you to mix and match a little bit more.
Well, even if they're going to put him in the outfield, they've got other people that they can put there too. Yeah. So I'm going to say Tatis, and here's why. I think they're all great, but I think Tatis's star power goes beyond baseball collectors.
That is very true.
And because I think when you're at a card show and you've got a card of Vlad Jr. there, and he looks like a reincarnation, long-haired version of Prince Fielder, somebody's gonna, you know, he's just a big old dude. And you look over here, and Acuna is gonna look a lot like, I mean, Acuna doesn't really stand out anymore. Like he looks on a card, is what I'm saying. If you see Tatis, he's got his hand up, he's got his white dreads going. That dude is electric, and he has the media presence, and that drives cards a lot.
There's a reason why he's getting the endorsements, and Acuna is not a guy that's, you know, on the face of everything. That's not an indictment on Acuna. It's more just the fact that Tatis is this, you know, also American figure too. Like he transcends both cultures, and that's something that is very important. It also is important that he hit 42 home runs in 130 games.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it too with 25 bags. So there's no wrong answer, obviously, and that's going to be a fun one to follow, I think, as we move forward. But I think when you get a triple crown potentially, and I think Vlad Jr. is the only guy that truly has a shot at a triple crown, that could also change things as well. Yeah. So share your screen.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Let's see you break open this Candy Fanatics NFT pack. And this is the uncut diamonds, right?
Yes. So, all right, here can you guys see it? Okay. Oh, I can even see it. Okay, good. All right. So this was the Josh Young I was talking about.
So real quick, but before you get into this, I want to just do a quick little teaser too. I just launched the call up, which I'm really excited about. And this just spurred a thought in my head. It's a prospect podcast that I'm really excited about, that I'll be interviewing prospects, talking about prospects, but I'm going to be interviewing prospects on here. And we're going to be going over their swings and going over games and stuff like that on StreamYard. And look, like we can both watch it just like this. So I'm really excited about that. But definitely go check out that podcast, The Call Up, so for even more prospect information, if you want to make your own investment decisions based on my prospect breakdowns and analysis. Sorry for the shameless plug there. This Josh Young card is sick, and I'm glad you could show it. So continue.
Yeah. So this isn't mine, just to be clear, but this is the cheapest epic level card that is on the marketplace right now for Josh Young's. So I mean, I'll kind of give like a little, candy walkthrough here. The candy beta is here. I think they've got a lot of room to improve in this front facing image, but that's obviously, I mean, it still says it's in beta. That's what they can improve on, is this entry level. And the marketplace is really, really straightforward. Yeah. So one thing I was really impressed with is I was a part of the Top Shots drop. I was a part of Top's NFT drop, and I was a part of this one. And this one was the most streamlined. It didn't crash. It didn't work. It worked perfectly. Like, there was small things that I would change, like the sorting process could be a little easier, where you could, because like when you go to sort things, like there's not a distinction whether you can pick prospects only or just plays of the day or something like that.
And I'm sure they'll get there.
That's so easy to put in after the fact. But when we look at the marketplace, it was just so easy to be like, boom, Ryan Presley 199 at a rare level. Obviously,
I'd be so pissed if I pulled that.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen tonight.
Ryan Rollison. So you remember the iconic home run by him? And it's crazy to say the word iconic when I'm talking about a prospect, but
10 million.
Yeah, people are just trolling. Ryan Rollison is the guy who gave up that 118.6 mile per hour home run to Marco Luciano. Do you remember during early COVID, they're playing out on the backfields and everyone's like, Marco Luciano just hit 118, and he's like tiny, skinny, and a teenager. And that was off of Rollison, who's actually a pretty good pitching prospect. But I'm sure the Rockies will find a way to mess that up.
But I think this is interesting, though. I mean, we've got $2,000 on a uncommon. So the second level of Shohei, and his this is something that I could see happening. He had several that were like in the 6 to 10 range that were selling yesterday.
Yeah. So this is the interesting thing too, is like people are like, oh, it might drop, it might normalize. It very well might, but it also could go the complete other way. And I have a lot of friends that got in on Top Shot right at the beginning, and a lot of those cards that they scooped up ended up going for a ton, and ended up going for way more after they bought him up. Ooh, Shea Langlier's for So, someone just pulled, by the way, I'm looking at Candy on social media. Someone pulled the Correa 1 of 1 in an MLB All-Star pack. Maybe it was the pack you sold, Kendall. But maybe. This is a little look into.
There's actually a way to look at that now with blockchain. Like I can
that's
see.
The other really cool thing is you can look into it on the blockchain. Oh, and real quick, Evster has a question while we're waiting for you to bust open your pack. Gray Rod or Moreno for an investment. So let me flip this on T from the monetary standpoint.
Gray Rod or J Rod?
Grayson Rodriguez.
Okay.
So Grayson Rodriguez, pitching prospect. Obviously, we've talked about how we feel about pitchers, but I think Grayson Rodriguez has the potential to legitimately win a Cy Young. And I know I'm saying crazy stuff, but we're literally talking about all of my favorite prospects. I think Grayson Rodriguez is as unhittable as it gets. He struck out 40% of batters. He's got 4 above average to plus pitches. His fastball has gone up in velo as the year's gone on every single year. He's disgusting, and he has good command. He's probably going to be a frontline guy for a long time. I know he's a pitcher, but he's going to be a frontline guy for a long time. Moreno, we know how much we like Moreno. Can really hit, but he is a catcher. In a crowded situation right now with the Blue Jays. Is it crazy to say that I might lean a little bit towards the pitcher there if I think Gray Rod's going to be a Cy Young winner potentially, whereas Moreno will never win an MVP, but I think he'll be an all-star?
Yeah, that's tough. How about just both?
Both.
They're cheap enough now where you could buy both.
Yeah, they really are. I think you get Gray Rod for like 100 raw, 120 raw chrome, and or for his chrome first auto. And I don't think
I got it for 60, bro, a while back. I got a couple of them.
Yeah, so and they're probably a little bit more now. Gabriel's a little bit more. I bought him for 80. I think they're at 120 now, kind of the same price even. But man,
oh my gosh,
I think you're buying both of those guys.
Right. I think both. Whatever you find for cheaper, go scoop that up. So what's the Vladdy going for?
The cheapest Vladdy on the market, and I'm talking common, is $4.99.
Wow.
Well, what's been sold though? Okay, because we all know that list prices don't mean.
And Ohtani just sold for 15 grand earlier today.
Okay, and what was it like? Was it out of 150? Was it out of a 500? Was it out of 10? Give me some context.
And I'll answer that in a second. Candy.
The commons are out of 409 T.
Okay,
and then it goes all the way up to a 101.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so the Epic Trout sold for 15,000. Epic Ohtani sold for 15,000. Another Epic Trout sold for 10,000. So there's a wide range there, but that kind of shows you that there's an opportunity to kind of scoop some up,
right?
And scoop some cards up for a lower price. If you find it listed, there's just not that much of people really knowing, what the exact price is right now. A Vladdy just sold. This was his out of 60 rare, just sold for $3,158. That was yesterday. So that's a solid price. Adley Rutschman, his Epic, which is I think out of 40 as well, right? That sold for $2,000. It's a prospect NFT. Selling for $2,000.
So here's an Epic Vladdy that sold for $3,000, a rare Vladdy that sold for $3,100. Okay, dude. Okay, look at this. So these are that's not a perfect example, but the rare Vladdy Guerrero sold for $3,000. But the Acuna sold for $2,900, and that's a regular Acuna, and a regular Tatis sold for $2,999.
Yeah.
So if this is a situation about what we just talked about, Vladdy is going for less money because that's the rare is like a two levels above this core that these two cards are at. But he sold for $200 more, but at a much rarer specification.
Yeah, that's
So,
interesting.
Let's see you rip this pack, dude.
Yeah, sorry, I keep getting distracted.
So show us what you got.
Yeah, so here's my I kind of went a little nuts, guys. Like I'm gonna be straightforward. Like I don't normally do this, but I'm super bullish in this area of like in this tech world. Like I'm so into this, and I can talk about that at a different time. But like, so I got these candy jerseys. I got 4 of them, or I got 3 of them, and then my dad actually bought one. And so 3 of the top, this one, and this one are mine.
Dad, you can't wear it.
Yeah. So he was like, so what does this get me? He understands crypto, and that's why he was like, I want you to get me an NFT. And when baseball mirrored with it, he's like, get me one. So got a jersey. These can be a unique thing about these. Can you hear that? Oh my gosh.
No.
Oh, okay. It's like a super loud theme song. But an interesting thing about this is we will be given the opportunity to burn these jerseys, is what they call them, and we can burn them for a real life asset that's kind of randomized. So from what I understand, you can get anything from like a replica real life jersey, a candy jersey that they'll send you, or like all the way up to like, I think you can go to the World Series or something. Like it's pretty incredible. But it's
almost like a redemption where you can just take a chance.
But you can also keep it as the 2021 version of their candy jersey, and they'll release a new one every year. So there will also be collectors out there that want to keep and get the perennial jersey, but there will also be collectors that want to, like, I'm sure that they will put out a list once the burn-in's an option of what you could potentially get in the burn. And so so these work as NFT, right? Are you guys buying players you think are going to break out?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's one unique thing I'm going to talk about too. So I got some of these jerseys, and then I got some prospects that we love. We've been doing this together for so long. Like we kind of all buying the same people at this point.
We're like bidding against each other, don't know it.
Yeah, I actually was bidding against Colby in a Indy Rodriguez earlier this week, but we neither one of us won it because we found out that the other one was also bidding on it. But anyway, so I got a Bobby Witt Jr. His floor right now is like $150, and I ended up getting one for like 40, so that was pretty cool. But I got Nick Gonzalez, and I spent I'm not going to say that, I guess, but I didn't have to spend a whole lot of money on these 5 cards because I got in like right as it was starting. So I got some of my favorite guys, and of course I had to go get my younger Ranger guy here. But then I ended up getting some packs here, and I bought one, and then I was like, okay, actually these are actually going for really good value considering you get 4 cards, and one of them has to be at least an uncommon or higher. So like the idea that you get something that's worth high or more than $400 is pretty high, especially because if I was to pull an uncommon, Tatis, it would be like $15K. So, well, I'm not going to pull a Tatis in an uncut pack. Sorry, I'm all over the place with this, but Candy itself had put 30 prospects together. They have an all-star pack with like 80 something athletes that are all in the current MLB. And then they put 30 together in minor league jerseys in this Uncut Diamonds pack. And of course, this is where we live at Just Baseball. We live in the Uncut Diamonds. And so I was like, I'm definitely getting at least one of these, and ended up getting 2 really good price points on 2 more. So we are going to open one of these for sure today. And I don't know. Yes, we are ripping these soon, Evster. And so I don't know which one you guys want to open. You guys want to open
all of them?
Now I'm not going to open all of them. I'm definitely going to save one.
You pick it.
I'm going to open.
Evster picks. Evster can pick.
Yeah, Evster, you pick.
Top right, bottom left.
If you look at the numbers, there's 8,119, 8,049, and 4,754.
If Evster doesn't answer in 3, 2.
Are you guys ripping soon? Yes,
yeah, I showed that one on purpose. I was gonna like keep flashing it. All right, bottom
left, the 4,000. Okay.
All right, let's go.
All right, so this is what it looks like. Also, these are the pack odds. So 1 out of 676 packs is getting a 1 of 1. That's pretty good odds.
Yep. And someone just pulled the Xavier Edwards, so that's good. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's true. Should I just list it? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. I don't know what this is going to be like.
Yeah, this is cool.
To unwrap or not to unwrap?
Unwrap. This is sick.
I'm so nervous.
Yeah. I'm nervous. You're nervous. Come on. It's loading.
This is nuts. I've never seen this before. This is a crazy concept.
What
am I looking at?
Okay, so I got a core, an uncommon, and a core. So I got 3 cards. 2 of them are our base, and then 1 is a little bit.
What were
higher.
the uncommon odds? We'll find out after. It's okay.
All right, do the core first.
Yeah. Reveal icon.
I'm having more fun with this than I thought. This is really cool.
Royce Lewis. Dang it.
Hell.
All right.
Not great.
Not great.
Next.
All right. No, we're not doing that one. Okay.
You got to open another one.
I know. Bryson Stott. Okay.
I like Stott. I think.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Underrated rookie of the year guy for the NL2. The Phillies low key don't really have an answer at shortstop, and Stott is big league ready in my opinion and could be their guy.
All right, here we go. Tyler Soderstrom.
Oh, I
like that.
That's a good pull.
Yeah.
That's a good pull.
That's
Soderstrom
nice.
Can swing.
Oh, sick. Let's go.
Look at this. This is fire. I think that was in regards to Royce Lewis. This is cool.
Dude, you guys should hear this music.
Ooh, that's a tank. Upper tank Soderstrom. Minor league camera work too. I love how they incorporate that. You gotta keep it authentic. This is cool.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I cannot hear a thing you're saying because of how lit this music is right now.
Okay, so
All right.
the out of like, what's it
I
out of?
agree. What's it out of?
Okay.
I agree, Epster. This is freaking sick. I'm fully sold on this.
Oh
This
no,
is the
no, we're
coolest
not doing
thing
that.
I've ever witnessed.
No, it's not.
No.
I'm telling you guys, that music is super lit. All right.
You're opening another one. I don't care. I'll Venmo you to open another one.
Deal.
All right, go back. We don't care about Royce Lewis.
No, I was seeing if like
You should just give him away. There we go. Uncommon out of 160. Nice.
yeah,
That's
so
sick.
I got 142 out of 160 here.
And for reference to people, so Soderstrom's a catcher, but not really. First baseman, bat first, rakes.
Yeah.
I really like the bat. I think he's a shoe-in to be a solid big league hitter, and could be an all-star type as he continues to develop. That he's the future of first base. Once they trade Matt Olson, I think eyes are on Soderstrom to get up there in the next 2 seasons.
Yeah, I think he's a good investment too because catchers do end up being a little bit cheaper, and he's not going to stay there.
He's not going to stay there. Exactly. So you're benefiting from the price dip from a catcher, but he's probably not going to play there. Could even play corner outfield potentially. Are you going to open another one, or are you going to?
You going to Venmo me?
It's your investment. So
it's your investment, but I mean that one went pretty well.
All right.
So can you look and see what the Soderstrom's going for? Or are there?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
If the Soderstrom's going for more than 150, you should buy another pack.
Oops. All right, let's see.
There's cores for 60.
I don't think there's any on the market right now.
There's a $58 one that's uncommon.
All right.
Don't be cheap. Open another.
You're like, yeah, if it's more than 150, you're gonna rip it. Oh, Ebster said that. Oh, okay. Now that Ebster has said it. All right. Well,
I didn't say it. I was just reading.
Well, yeah. You put it up there. All right. Yeah, we'll do another one.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I mean, I think this is cooler than ripping a regular pack. Oh, an uncommon. Dang it.
You didn't get anything lit. No, you still could have.
I mean, it depends on the player, yeah. Tristan Casas. All right.
That's a good base one.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Hold that. That's good.
Freddie Freeman. Is that? Oh, that. I mean, Tristan Casas. My bad.
Yeah, actually, that's my comp, and I'm living with that one. I freaking love Casas. Ooh.
Okay.
Let's go.
Is that your base, or is that your? Yeah, that's a good base, dude. Those are 2 freaking great bases.
No, this isn't a base. They don't show the video with the base one.
Oh, this is your uncommon?
I don't know why it opened my uncommon, but
we're not complaining, right? Ooh.
guys, this music is out of control.
Is it some good stuff?
Yeah, it's like anyway, I'm not gonna do beatboxing because I'm not good at it, but yeah. That's cool. I mean, if that is my uncommon, I'm cool with that. Like I he's gonna be the man. So where did that come from?
What was that?
Did I just like get that out of nowhere?
What just happened? There it is again.
Okay,
That was the what?
Garrett Mitchell.
Garrett Mitchell. Okay.
So funny enough, I just talked to Griffin Conine about Garrett Mitchell, and Griff said that Mitchell is one of the fastest guys he's seen on the field, which I thought was interesting because I know Mitchell is a plus runner, but he says he's even faster than people make him out to be, and he's got some big power potential. He struggled after the call up to Double-A, but a lot of guys did. I wouldn't sleep on Mitchell. That's a hold for me. I would say 3 holds there, Kendall.
Yeah.
3 holds in that opening right there.
I mean, I'm definitely holding because one of the unique things that they are doing is when you get all 30 prospects, they're sending you an additional thing.
Yeah, which I love too because you can't get that in the physical card world, right?
Right, and I love that there's only 30. like, think about how many Bowman prospects there are out there, and some of them are just booty, right? I mean, you could get a JD Orr out there,
Look up Adley's uncommon.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and Ellie's roasting you
I know Ellie is roasting me.
What does she do?
Our friend who works at Candy is giving me a little bit of a hard time because I said Fanatics, and even though it's owned by Fanatics,
it's not a subsidy.
What does that mean?
They're not owned by Fanatics.
285.
See, now that we have the thing in front of us, I didn't know it was going to look like this. I said Fanatics because I thought if we said Candy, I thought people were going to think we're literally opening candy or something. Like this is a new product. I wanted to be clear of what we're doing here because this is sick.
So the cheapest uncommon is $285 for Adley Rushman.
No way. Attaboy.
So a $300 card, essentially.
And the Casas has to go for like 50 or something, right? And the Mitchell's got to go for a decent amount. Not bad.
$40.
So T, what are your thoughts on this? Is this kind of like your first in-depth look on the back end? Since you are the closest to being a boomer, I'm going to pretend that you hate NFTs. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I hate you. I was, I have lived in the Top Shot space for a little bit, and I've made some money off of it. And I really, really enjoy them. So yes, I am almost boomer age, but I know what NFTs are, and I dabble. So I love it. I think this presentation is absolutely slick. Candy's done a fantastic job. I really wish that I had been tuned in to when everything was dropping and the whole marketplace was starting. I know Kendall called me and was extremely excited about everything he had just bought, but literally by the time that I even opened everything up, prices had tripled, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm just gonna have to sit this out. So wish I would have been a little bit more in tune to when all this was taking place, because I definitely would have bought into this. But I mean, they have just hit it out of the park. This is an awesome presentation, slick website, well done. And I can
I'm a huge fan.
Getting into it,
and I will admit, I've been very hesitant in the NFT space. I have nothing against it. I was just hesitant from the standpoint of actually putting dollars into it, right? I've just admittedly always been a traditional card collector, and something new is always going to be it's uncharted territory, right? But the presentation, the way things look, the way that you're able to collect some of these things, how easy they are transactionally. And I really like the way they've played towards the prospects, and I know it's only going to get better. I really like it. Am I going to stop buying physical cards? Of course not. And this is why I think there's room for both. I'm still going to put more money into physical cards. But if I want to buy a prospect, if I want to buy into something, it's cool to be able to buy into different areas. And I'll tell you what, dude, I'm gonna put a few bucks and go scoop up some Morenos. And that pack opening was so cool that I'm probably gonna end up doing that too. And scooping.
You want to do one more?
You're gonna open all of yours?
I think so, man. I just looked at the price of what they're going for right now, and it would be more advantageous for me to rip it.
All right, well, we won't close the episode out then. We'll rip one more.
Okay, so pull it back up. Interestingly enough, I looked up Adley's Bowman Chrome first out of 150 to compare prices. And it looks like the last two, one was bought for $350, and then the other two are probably around which seems really high. The other two are probably more in line with what's reality, and they were about probably $225, $230-ish. It looks like $240.
It's pretty cool to see the prices are pretty reflective.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Are in line. That's really interesting.
That is very interesting.
The prices are in line, and if that's the case, that I think that's a really good thing. I think that makes it very clear, and it's just a different way to collect. But knowing that the values are somewhat hand in hand, I mean that would be really good. I think for Candy's side of it, and for the physical side to have those two cross over a little bit. So you're ripping one more, or are we
Yeah, I think I'm going to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm recording another episode after this for the Just Baseball show. So get me like fired up. Get me really
Right.
energized right here. Can't believe we're doing
God.
another
I
one.
hate that. Oh my God. I know. Me
Like,
too.
are you sure? Like, no.
Don't be a little green triangle, please. Dang it! It is.
It is a green triangle. All right,
Okay.
let's see what we got here.
All right, let's see. Spencer Torkelson. All right.
Ooh, all right.
Hey,
That's got to be a $7,500
yeah.
one.
He's going for the most money, I think. So
Has to.
That's got to be
Get
$100.
that.
no.
Oh! There we go. What's the highlight? The highlight better be an Oppo bomb.
I bet it's his all-star game.
Yep. I was there. I'm jumping up and down.
He tanked that too.
I'm jumping up and down right now because the funniest part about this, of course, was that course. It was right after I accidentally bought 2 Brennan Davises. I put 2 offers in at the same time, and they both simultaneously got accepted, and I had to empty out my bank account. Like, I actually had to transfer money over to do it. And I'm like kind of like stressed about it. I never put that much into one player. We go to the futures game and he homers twice. And I'm like, let's go. So there you go.
So maybe this is a little glitch or something, but why is it opening up your uncommon?
Yeah.
It seems like we're trying to get to the core first. That may be something we could talk to Ellie about.
I'm not a fan of that, but
User experience standpoint.
I'm trying to build the suspense with myself, right? I'm trying to play with my own emotions. Let me do it.
Jordan Adams.
Athletic outfielder.
All right, let's go check the prices.
All right,
check the prices, and then we'll wrap it up for today. This has been cool.
275
for the core?
No way. Okay, 100.
Okay. And I pulled a physical auto of John Doxakis. If you need more reason to maybe dabble in some NFTs.
So no, I'm not gonna look up Brennan first. What was Jordan
Adams?
No way he goes for more than 40, 50.
Yeah, 44.
That's solid though.
$30.
It's fine. And then what's Doxakis? Is he on there?
No. Brennan's $50. Somebody go buy that.
Yeah, what? I might go buy all of those.
Wow.
Good hold.
$120.
Good hold.
Good hold. Can I ask you how much the packs cost?
Yes. So I got mine cheaper than retail, like cheaper than they first came out for. And I got them for $480 a piece.
Okay. So now they're probably worth more?
No, now they're worth actually less.
Okay.
So
they normalized a little bit. People were piling in early on.
So the cheapest one right now is $399. So for instance, if I had paid $399 for this, I would have gotten money back on my second pack because of the Rutschman.
Yeah.
And I think I think a lot of these are holds that are gonna
I would have gotten money back on 2 of them. So
and a lot of these are holds because I think they're gonna keep going up. I mean, guys, especially the prospects that we individually like. So I think it's pretty interesting there. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm actually pretty surprised I didn't get any duplicates.
And no, I'm not doing this for the Just Baseball show. I'm about to go record with Jack. We're talking lockout, but we're talking about the latest proposal, a little bit about that, and then I'm going to make fun of Jack for the Bulls being absolute trash. This was cool. I swear, I looked at the marketplace. I'd been looking at it. I was impressed, but I had not seen pack opening or anything like that. I am 100% more intrigued and going to end up spending money after getting that experience. So
yeah,
everybody else thought that was pretty cool.
If these drop into like the 250 range, that's a really good investment.
It's a cooler product too, right? Like it's only going to get more unique and more expensive and things like that. And I think as more people pile in, we could see that the card value start to.
They should work with us on which prospects to do.
Yeah, the Just Baseball Top 100, which will be updated pretty soon. So that's my thoughts on this. You guys just made me buy Moreno NFTs. Love that.
I love that.
Well, Moreno's
Thank you,
a
Evster.
freaking beast, Evster. So we just made you money. Any final thoughts that you have on this, T? I mean, obviously we are going to be focusing on the physical hobby a lot. We'll still be talking a little bit about the NFT space as well. I did just list this Jesse Franklin.
Again?
Yeah, the person didn't pay. They said they accidentally bid on it, whatever that means.
Yeah,
so
right.
I said, okay, that's fine. I relisted it. Not going to deal with it. So we'll see how that goes. I may list Nick Quintana. I don't think I'll get more than $20 for that. But I am excited. Next time I get some money, I will be buying some Josh Young and I'll be buying some candy packs. But what are your thoughts, T?
No, I love it. I think I will probably dabble in the candy space as well. And also next time we have to talk about the out of 5 question that I posed.
Oh yes.
Because
then I want to episode's main topic.
The player that I bought and where he slots in.
I'm so mad at you for doing that.
I can't believe you stole that card. So,
he's just so mad.
He's just submitting offers left and right, and every once in a while he hits.
And I was $50 off.
Yeah.
God dang it.
Well, that'll be next time. I'm looking forward to that discussion. But
which out of 5 that we would buy, at a certain price point, I think that would be a lot of fun to talk about. Kendall, any final thoughts as you just ripped open 3 packs for us?
Yeah, I'm getting an itch, so that's not good. I'm very, very impressed. Other than like that weird thing where I opened the uncommon on accident, or whatever, super impressed. The actual product looks great. The store, its first rendition of it is a really good rendition. I would say if I'm 1 out of 10 on everything involved, we're at a solid SGC 9.5 right here, I think. So
SGC 9.5, okay.
Yeah. It has a ways to go to get me to a PSA 10 here, but it's definitely close, and it's a really good first step for.
It seems like they did a good job of learning from the other releases and the other areas and how you can improve upon those. And I'm hoping that Fanatics will do the same with Topps, with what they've done now and acquiring Topps. That was something we talked about that we thought would happen. And that's something we can discuss a little bit more as there's more clarity on it. It's just too early to talk about it because Fanatics, I think, is really still just going through like the M&A aspect of it, where I don't think we've really seen what it's going to mean for the hobby, but hopefully they don't change too much and let Topps still be Topps. But I do think it's good that at least Topps, this was the best case scenario to get Topps back in the fold. And T, you wrote a really good article on that over at justbaseball.com to give a little bit more information. And also remember, Kendall has some information on the latest candy release. And we'll throw this video in that article as well, of course, even though I had poorly phrased bottom line graphics there. It's not Fanatics, it's candy. And I'll remember that next time. But that's it for this episode, this edition of Cardboard and Digital Cardboard Consultants. And I'm excited to get through our top 5. We're going to be coming at you through Sunday, every Sunday now moving forward. But big topic will be 2018 versus 2019 draft. And of course, which out of 5 cards we are buying. But that'll do it for this episode. Look forward to talking to you all next Sunday/Monday.
Later, guys.
Peace.